guys, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining. Welcome to Events Made Simple vlog.
내가 만든 쿠키 너를 위해 구웠지 But you know that it ain't for free. Yeah.
Hey guys, we are going to be covering reasons why you should plan a destination wedding. So go ahead and subscribe and like us so that you can get more content about your wedding and feel more prepared for the decisions that you make through the year. I have listed out several different reasons as to why somebody should be doing a destination wedding. I might be a little biased because I am a destination wedding planner, so I actually will help you plan your travel as well as your guest travel and plan your wedding while you attend either a villa, a chateau, or a resort. Planning a destination wedding can seem a little overwhelming at first, but hear me out. There are a lot of benefits to having a destination wedding that you may not have really thought about. The first one being the people who actually want to be there are going to be there. So how many of you have been to a wedding and you've heard about like, oh, well, so-and-so didn't want to go, or so-and-so went, but they didn't really want to be there, or they're kind of like, it was just kind of weird. So I feel like if you have a lot of maybe like rift in your family or in your friendships, or in, maybe not in your friendships, right? But like in your families, it might be just better to go somewhere that you and your loved one want to be, and you can just celebrate your love together. And then the people who actually want to be there will be there. Reason number two is definitely price. So some people are gonna say that, oh, well, yeah, but your guests have to spend money on their flights, their rooms, and all of that. But hear me out here. If you want a super extravagant, really nice wedding, then most likely your guests are gonna have to pay to come into town. They're gonna have to pay for flights anyway. And if you go somewhere like Mexico or Costa Rica or somewhere in the Caribbean, it's going to be significantly more affordable. Now, when you go over to Europe, that can kind of be all over the place. Like parts in Italy can be super affordable, and some places are gonna be just as much as if you had a wedding in Nashville, which if you've been to Nashville, very, 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 very pricey for exclusive weddings. So that's where I am located. So anyway, I would compare a wedding that is in like the $150,000 range in the United States. You could get something similar for about $30,000 to $40,000 in the Caribbean, which is just mind-boggling. Now, of course, your guests are going to have to pay for their stay, their airfare, all that good kind of stuff, but you're gonna give them the opportunity to have a vacation of a lifetime and to celebrate love together. So, you know, you can kind of see the benefits there. So that's my second tip. Tip number three is going to be less decor. I say less decor because I love decor. I love putting things together. It's a dream of mine. I love flowers. I love putting things together. I like making people's days beautiful. Let me tell you, I really enjoy it. It's one of my most favorite parts of the day. However, weddings, especially big weddings in particular, can be very stressful because you have all of this stuff. We're talking like cartons and buckets of stuff. We're talking like, I mean, like maybe like 1,000 votive candles, or a whole bunch of like little rinky-dinky Hobby Lobby candle holders, which nothing wrong with the candle holders. I will put a link in here below for you guys if you really want those. But but the issue with that is that sometimes in our minds we have this amazing, beautiful vision for our big day or for how we want things to look. And the reality is, like, maybe we don't have enough staff to do that day, or maybe we don't have the budget to buy the actual amount of candles we need to put in the votives or in the hurricane glasses. Like, there are a lot of little things that sometimes people don't consider when they are trying to decorate for their event, especially when they're trying to be on a budget. So if you are on a budget, I would highly, 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 highly recommend going on a destination wedding, because you don't have to do any of that. Everything is there. You won't really have a lot of expectations. You're gonna be that bride that shows up and you are like, wow, it's beautiful. Look at this beautiful ocean in front of me. My bouquet is beautiful because all the flowers are from Costa Rica and they are here and they are fresh and they are gorgeous. But you're not gonna have to worry about all the tiny little crazy details because it's gonna be so new to you that you're not gonna be thinking about that. So I highly, highly recommend destination weddings for people who want an extravagant wedding, but they don't want to have to deal with all the fuss of the decorations. So number four is gonna be memories, right? So what's so cool about destination weddings is that you get to build memories with your guests for a 4-day period. Let me kind of go into this. The first day is obviously gonna be your arrival day. I highly recommend for the bride and the groom to get there a few days before. That way they're settled, they get to, have their private massages, they can do private photos, they can do whatever they want that is just them two. And then your immediate bridal party and guests, they get in the day before the welcome ceremony for the dinner and things like that. So the reason we do that is because, or the reason I do that for my guests is because I'm thinking, I want my bridal party here. I want to go over rehearsal if I want it. I want to make sure we have all the last minute things. That way, while we're in the wedding period, they can just relax and have a good time. And then the next following day is where you start that 3-day period of the actual wedding things to do. So you've got a welcome dinner. And the welcome dinner or welcome cocktail, whatever you want to spend on your guests is fine. But for all-inclusive resorts, I highly recommend a welcome dinner. And that's really nice because they just come into a certain part of the resort, they have their dinner, and then you guys can do your toast and have a good time and just dance the night away. So it's super fun. The next day is normally a rest day or an excursion day. I have had brides that have swapped that out. It kind of depends on what you want to do on the trip, where you're at, things like that. But on the second day, you are typically going to do an excursion or something that's fun related, to get your guests going. And you can either pay for it yourself and have your travel agent. I'm gonna put special effects in here, so it's nice. Me. You can either have your travel agent make an excursion for you guys, or you can do something that's more intimate with just your bridal party or the groom's party or just the wedding party in general. You don't have to do all that. This is extremely customizable, so don't feel like you guys have to do what I say. I just give a lot of suggestions of what I like to do for my clients. So, and then the final day is gonna be your wedding day. So it's really nice for your guests because they're just chilling. They've already gotten kind of into the Caribbean vibe or the European vibe or the Italian vibe or whatever you want them to experience for this beautiful wedding. And then you get married that day and the rest of it's just a party. So they kind of go home with that party spirit, or they can extend their vacation. Of course, we can rearrange it however you want. I've done weddings a lot of different ways, but that's just typically what I see the most and what I recommend for timing. I also recommend this because, reason 5, okay. Weddings are stressful. Weddings are stressful. Let me tell you, weddings, I'm gonna say it again, weddings are stressful. They are. And when you have a destination wedding, sometimes there's a little bit of extra stress if you are rushed to have the wedding a certain day. And the reason for that is because you've got all these people who you're trying to get there on this specific day instead of making it a longer period. And that could be because maybe their budget on their flight is a little bit extended, or it's a little expensive, or it could just be that they have to work or they have other obligations, or maybe they don't want to be there earlier. And I am not saying that to hurt anybody's feelings, especially if anybody's a client. I'm not saying that to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm just telling you what I've seen before is somebody's like, oh, well, I can't do that earlier flight that's going to allow me to be there at that time because I have work. Well, if your wedding is that next day and you book a time on the beach at 12 o'clock and your brother-in-law wants to get there at like, I don't know, 7 in the morning, that might be a little stressful, right? Because they're an hour away from Cancun. So I just highly recommend that if you're gonna have a wedding, have it more like on the 3rd day so that you can do that, right? And when everybody's at a resort or everybody's in the same place and you're not having to worry about your cousin bringing their shoes or your mom's dad or grandfather or whoever forgot their suit, just destination weddings are a lot more flexible. They're a lot more relaxed. The resort will handle everything. Your wedding planner will normally take care of things and you have time to fix it. The reason that I say all this is because even though you may hire a wedding planner, like if you were to hire myself, I do handle a lot of issues that can arise. However, I can't control some things that happen, like if your cousin is in the wedding and last minute they oversleep past their flight and they're gonna come in a day late, can't really do anything there. But if we plan the way that I just went over, then they are thinking in their minds 2 days prior, like, oh my gosh, the wedding festivities have already started. I need to be on time. And so you're not as pressed in making sure that the wedding happens specifically like that morning because everybody's already there, right? Or if you guys arrive and then one of your bridesmaids forgets, like, I don't know, a pair of earrings. We can find a pair of earrings the day before, right? Whereas if you have your wedding in the States, then it might be a little bit more tricky trying to, do things last minute because you normally recognize those things the day of the event. And at that point, it's like, okay, we're just gonna have to forego the loss here. So those are my tips. I hope those help and make sense to everybody, but I am so excited for you guys. If you're watching this, congratulations on your engagement. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Make sure you check out the links below so that you can have the perfect destination wedding. Have a great day, guys. Bye.